Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. Well, it was a pretty tough year for the secret UFO control group. I mean, they made it through. It's a whole nother year for them without the truth coming out, without them being outed. Uh, but it was very interesting. It had to be very interesting for them. I mean, you had the whistleblowers stepping up to the plate. You had David Grush testifying, talking about the secret programs to reverse engineer and recover crashed extraterrestrial craft. He was talking about alien bodies, the recovery of alien bodies. We almost had legislation that would make the any recovered craft the property of the United States through eminent domain. All of that stuff got taken care of by the control group at the end. As we all know, they used the politicians that they own in Congress to quash all of that, and we got this watered down UAP Disclosure Act instead. But it'd be interesting. Like, what if the UFO control group was to provide the public with a year-end report? I know that sounds ridiculous because, I mean, they wouldn't be a secret control group if they were providing year-end reports. They don't really exist, right? This group, it's not really something that's out there, but really it is. As a lot of us know, a lot of people who've done the research know that there is most certainly a covert program run with the protection of the Pentagon to study alien craft and try to reverse engineer it. It's been going on for decades now. There's no question about it. There's been way too many leaks throughout the years. I mean, long before David Grush, there were other people talking about this. All the witnesses of the Roswell UFO crash, the Aztec UFO crash. There's been different UFO crashes over the decades. The Kingman 1952 UFO crash. There's all different leaks throughout the years. We know that they've been looking at this and they've been keeping it a secret for decades. But just think, what if one of them were to provide the public with a year-end report? I was wondering about that. And I actually came up with something. It's not real. I came up with it myself. I wrote it out today. And we're going to go through that right now. Anyway, it's entitled Better Luck in 2024. And this is the year-end report from a member of the secret UFO control group. And this is what this person has to say to the public. For decades, we members of the secret UFO control group have enjoyed complete anonymity while privately collecting and reverse engineering recovered extraterrestrial technology. United States presidents of the past, via various secretive executive orders, successfully arranged a covert program which allowed for the establishment of a separate government that is controlled by an elite group of defense contractors and high-ranking Pentagon officials. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff for decades have, under our recommendations and demands, dutifully deemed anything and everything related to the phenomenon as a national security concern, hence making all of it highly classified. The development in recent years of a gaggle of former military and elected officials interested in disclosing the truth about the extraterrestrial presence and covert UFO programs has put the control group in a bind. However, because the tentacles of our organization are long and powerful, we have successfully managed to make it through another year without the world knowing the truth about the extraterrestrial presence and the existence of our above top secret recovery and engineering programs. Regarding the long-standing policy to keep secret the existence of our group, members of the panel overseeing the complete program are determined more than ever to keep it in place throughout the year 2024 and beyond. We do not believe disclosure would be a good thing for humankind or for us. We believe the most integral operation of our organization is the continuation of our crash retrieval and reverse engineering programs in absolute secrecy. If members of the public were to learn about what we are doing, then that means our enemies from other countries would know about it too. We cannot risk disclosure for this reason. That is why it is imperative we don't admit knowledge with regard to any aspect of the phenomenon. While the leak of classified UFO videos in 2017 sent alarm bells ringing throughout our organization, decades of perfecting techniques to keep extremely damaging information from leaking to the public served us well. In the end, we were still able to maintain the secret and keep the media and public in the dark about the extraterrestrial reality and our operations. For 5 years after those leaks, useful idiots like UFO debunkers, as well as some of our own paid operatives, regularly peppered reports about UFOs and secret programs with misleading and false information in an effort to sow doubts in the minds of people. Unfortunately, in the year 2023, members of our organization witnessed in horror the emergence of UFO whistleblowers like former Air Force official David Grush. Grush, who gathered information about secret UFO programs from people working in these programs, went public with what he learned and even testified under oath to a congressional committee about our program. Admittedly, our effort to defame Grush was too obvious. We had some of our cronies approach tabloid right reporter Ken Klippenstein with embarrassing information about Grush's bouts with post-traumatic stress disorder. While Klippenstein did what we wanted, write an ugly article about Grush designed to make him look like a crackpot, he also stupidly admitted publicly that he was sicked onto Grush by people in the Department of Defense and intelligence communities. That made the control group look bad and obvious, all at the same time. It also made us look as stupid and craven as Klippenstein. But we've been around for a long time, and we promise to work harder in 2024 and correct those shortcomings. We cannot let the truth about the alien presence and our group ever be made public. To end the year, we successfully prevented the UAP Disclosure Act from, as originally written, becoming a part of the National Defense Authorization Act of 2024. Had the disclosure legislation become law, it would have, among other things, made all of the recovered extraterrestrial craft in our possession become the property of the United States government via eminent domain considerations. There is no way that we could allow something like that. We were able to use some of the corrupt puppets we installed into Congress, like Representatives Mike Rogers and Mike Turner, to gut the Disclosure Act and protect our organization. The campaign contributions to those political hacks turned out to be money well spent. Although many of the recovered alien craft in our possession was obtained via the assistance of U.S. taxpayer dollars, we maintain that the entire UFO and extraterrestrial issue is a matter of national security, and any useful data about it needs to be kept secret under our purview. You may ask why we believe information about the extraterrestrial presence and our efforts to duplicate the technology needs to be kept secret. Here are the answers. Number 1, knowledge is power. By keeping the greatest discovery of all time under our control, we have power over everyone else. It's that simple. At some point, we will figure out all of the secrets of our extraterrestrial visitors and use that technology to better control the people of Earth. It's not just about flying machines that defy known physics. It's also about the power to control the minds of anyone we want. We seek to understand not only how to manufacture transmedium transportation machines that can outperform anything dreamed up by humankind, but also the other tools discovered in the extraterrestrials' toolbox. Alien visitors possess technologies capable of taking over the will of any individual they please. They can abduct a person, subject a person to hours of medical examinations and procedures, and erase any and all memories associated with the encounter from the subject's mind. Once we've mastered all of the extraterrestrial technologies, we can make our move and take over the country and maybe even the planet. Number 2, an ignorant public is great for us. If the public ever learns the full truth about the extraterrestrial presence and our efforts to keep that reality in the shadows, our organization will face a multitude of embarrassing questions that we would prefer not to answer. Why did you maintain the cover-up when experiencers were being ridiculed in the press? Why did you stand by and allow the lives of some people to get destroyed when you knew telling the truth on your end would have averted that destruction? Why did you allow alien abductees to go through life afraid to talk about their experiences? Why did you not warn the public about the potential dangers of approaching a landed extraterrestrial craft? Why did you lie for so long? Why are these beings here? Are some of them planning to colonize the planet? Are aliens responsible for cattle mutilations? We don't want to answer those questions because the answer is just this. We don't care about you. We care about us. Number 3, we're defenseless. When top military brass are afraid of the power exhibited by extraterrestrials and their technology, how afraid do you think the general populace will be? The truth of the matter is our technology is so primitive compared to what alien visitors possess, we have no way of defending ourselves if these visitors ever decided to wipe us out. They have disintegrated some of our fighter jets in the past, but to this point it doesn't seem like they are preparing to engage in any conflict to defeat the human race using advanced technology. But because we don't know anything about the intentions of these beings with certainty, we believe it best not to admit that they are here because we could never adequately fight back. By admitting the truth, we are telling the world we are weaklings compared to the alien presence. Number 4, it goes against the teachings of some religions. There are some fundamentalists out there who had it slammed into their brains from an early age that God created only one intelligent life form in the entire universe, human beings. Heck, even some of the gatekeepers think this way and are convinced that what we are dealing with aren't creatures from other worlds, but actual demons sent here by Satan straight out of hell. They believe the devil is trying to trick us into believing we're not the only ones, and that if the public were told the truth, they might begin to question their faith. Because of their religious convictions, they believe they're doing God's work by not acknowledging the existence of extraterrestrials in public. Other gatekeepers, of course, don't think this way, but we're not going to argue with the ones who do, because in the end, it serves our purpose to keep everything secret. Number 5. Disclosure would cause mass panic. We really don't believe this, but when we talk among ourselves, we pretend that it's the truth. It's a self-told lie that helps us fall asleep at night. We tell ourselves that the public is composed largely of dumbbells, gullible morons, dopes, idiots, and fools who would never be able to handle the truth if it were told to them. Basically, that's you, right now, listening to this. You can't handle the truth. I actually have a poster of Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men hanging in my office. There's a dialogue bubble next to Jack's head that says, "You can't handle the truth." Those of us privileged enough to be a part of the secret control group believe everyone outside of our individual orbits, even our own family members, do not possess the mental faculties to deal with the extraterrestrial reality. We believe we're smarter, better, and superior to everyone else when it comes to this issue. We can handle it and you cannot handle it. It's that simple. You're dumb, we're smart. Take that any way you like. We don't care. In conclusion, we believe in 2024 there will be a lot of talk about UFOs and aliens, but in the end, the truth will not be revealed to the public. We won't let it happen. We will do everything within our power to never let it happen. You have no idea what we're capable of doing. That's the end. So that's what I think you might get. If they were to talk to us, if they were to say something publicly, that's what you might get, something like that. But they would never tell you the truth because they're experts at lying and obfuscation and just cover-ups. They don't have to say anything. They have the power and we don't. And that's just the way it is. It's unfortunate. But that's how I see it. Doesn't make me right. But that's, if you were to get a message from them and they were to give you a year-end report, it could sound something like that. I mean, if they're going to be truthful, if they were truthful with you, because at this point I don't get it. I don't get it after it's just been too long. I mean, I look at the history of this and I think by the late 1950s the truth should have been told. But they continue with this nonsense. They continue with this cover-up, and they just keep digging themselves a deeper and deeper hole, and it's just gets worse and worse for them. And for the human race, it's really, I mean, in the end, are these people who were responsible for this cover-up for so long, people in different governments too. It's not just the United States; it's all over this world. They've been keeping this away from the public forever, since they knew about it. and it just continues, and it's ridiculous and obvious. We've been getting gaslighted for decades now by all the officials that we put into office somehow. Not the elected officials, the people that are in different positions of power that are appointed. It's incredible, but it continues. And this is, I don't know, if they were to make a statement and they were to be truthful, it might sound as ugly as something like I just read. It could. I don't know. Until they come out and tell us the truth, I mean, what are we supposed to think? What are you supposed to think? I mean, I know that something's going on. Millions of people know that something's going on. All these people that researched it know that something's going on. There's been people who have been part of it that know something's going on. What is the reason? Why are they continuing to cover this up? I just look at the human race and I see what, it could get ugly. We're not pleasant a lot of times, and I just think that there's probably ugly reasons for this cover up as well. And it has nothing to do with some of the things that they talk about. Like, again, I don't believe that there would be a panic. I just don't see it. I don't believe that. I think that they might lie to themselves and tell them that kind of thing, and they probably know that internally. But it's about money and power and greed and who knows, God knows what. But they're just, they got through another year. It came close. We took some steps this year. What's going to happen in 2024? I tell you, they are going to fight. They're going to continue this fight. The UFO control group, you bet your bottom dollar that they are going to fight tooth and nail to prevent this information from ever getting out to the public. And for the scary thing to me is that they're the ones who have access to all the historical records. There is a concern that I have, the biggest concern. I heard this mentioned on, I think it was one of the Richard Dolan shows in the last couple of years. One of his guests was talking. Him and his guest was talking about this, and it was intimated that they could just destroy all the records, and all that historical data would be gone forever, and that would be such a crime. It might already be gone for all we know. There might have been people getting nervous this past year or in the previous years thinking, oh my God, we better cover this up and get rid of everything. I mean, wouldn't it be a shame if all the records, the actual records that have been kept secret all these years about, for instance, Roswell, are all destroyed? We just don't know. It's a horrible thought, but I guess it's a possibility. I just think we need to end this truth embargo. And move on, and the world needs to know already and accept this, and we need to talk about it. Yeah, it's not just us here. There's something else here with us, and what are they doing? What's going on? And what are these people who have been studying it secretly in the governments all these decades? What have they learned? What do they know? Tell us. At least acknowledge the truth. Acknowledge the truth that there is non-human intelligence among us. What do you know about them? It's time. It's time to end this. Hopefully 2024 will be the year. We just don't know, though. We just don't know. Okay, I'm going to move on here. I'm going to talk about, I just, in my previous podcast, I was talking about a theory that was put forth by an Air Force vet that he thinks that the alien beings that are here, or could make, some of them at least, could be time travelers from the future, but not humans. Actually, he states that it could be beings that haven't even evolved yet. It's a very interesting theory, I thought. Basically what he's saying is that at some point humans will go extinct. Some other being will evolve over millions of years, and at some point they'll develop advanced technology, and they'll be able to go back into the past. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing these beings from our future, from Earth's future, coming back to the past for whatever reason, checking us out and then disappearing. It's an interesting theory. There was an interesting comment, a lot of interesting comments, I gotta say, on YouTube and on Spotify that I received about this. Here was one from Onkside on YouTube. Says, what if they aren't from a distant future, but from a distant past? I guess that's possible too. What if that's the case? According to Onkside, what if these beings are not from the future, but they're beings that actually existed on this planet in millions of years ago, maybe even before the age of the dinosaur, and they've created technology and advanced technology, and they're time traveling into the future to see what the future holds. Maybe that's an interesting idea. There's all kinds of different concepts. It makes sense actually when you think about why they when the government when in the House and the Senate, when they come up with these new bills related to UAP, and they're talking about, they don't say extraterrestrial, they say non-human intelligence, non-human beings. I think that covers it, because I mean, I guess if you're a secret control group, you could say, yeah, we don't have anything about extraterrestrials, because maybe they can't say for sure what these beings are. So you say non-human intelligence. Maybe they are from here. I mean, there's some people that think that that's possible too, that they've been here the whole time. What if there's another world within our world? Maybe these beings are, maybe what they really are, they're beings that lived inside, are living inside our planet. They've been there the whole time. And every now and then, over the centuries, they come out to check us out. But then in the 1940s, when we started using atomic bombs, they came out, that really shook them up. And maybe that's why they showed up in force. Maybe that's what's been going on. They've been living nice and peacefully underground for a long, long time, not really worried about what us primitives were doing on the surface. But then all of a sudden, when we start dropping atomic bombs, that sent up some red flags for them. And maybe okay, let's go check out what's going on here. Maybe we better intervene and try to help prevent this. This is our world too. I guess that's a theory too that people could talk about. I actually personally don't subscribe to the time traveling theories or to that theory. I think that they are coming from other planets, but that doesn't make me right. Maybe they are here. Maybe they've been here the whole time, or maybe they haven't evolved yet. We really don't know. Anybody, I guess, could be right. But they're all interesting hypotheses, to say the least. And actually, I want to go over the most recent poll that I conducted on Spotify. It was for the episode "Aliens Could Be Time Travelers / Feds Possess Historical Crash Retrieval Film Footage." I asked this question: do you believe some of the UFOs people see are actually operated by time travelers from the future? There's 94 votes so far with 27 days left. 21 people, or 22.3%, say yes. 29 people, or 30.9%, say no. And 44 people, or 46.8%, say maybe. I'm going to go with the... I have to go with the no's on this one. I don't think that's what it is. I just don't know if I just don't think that's what it is. I mean, I've received comments from different people, like somebody pointed out, just because I don't understand what time travel technology doesn't mean it's not real. Yeah, that could be exactly the case, no question about it. I don't know for a fact. I don't know what it is, but I don't think that's what it. I don't think it's time travel. That's just my opinion. Doesn't make me right. I think that they're coming here from other worlds. And I think there's more than one kind of species. I think they're coming. I think there's from multiple different worlds based on the reports. I think there's all different kinds of creatures coming here. And again, that could be wrong too. For all we know, maybe it's all the same being, and they make themselves look to however they want people to perceive them when they see them. Maybe some people see a little short beings walking around. Maybe some people see, and it's the same being, but somebody sees a Nordic. I don't know. I think they do have abilities that we just can't understand. Invisibility abilities. They have the ability to make us see things that aren't there, or experiencing things that aren't really happening. I mean, for instance, you hear a lot of alien abductee cases where people are they're giving they have screen memories where they think they're looking at an animal, but really they're looking into the eyes of an alien. It's just that the alien somehow is making that person believe that they're seeing something else. There's all kinds of weird stuff that these beings are capable of doing, and I don't think if they're able to come this far, I mean, wherever they're coming from, the technology, when you take all of these things into consideration, the technology that they possess, the ability to make people forget about what happened to them, and the only way to get that information or try to retain or try to recapture certain memories is through hypnosis. I mean, that's incredible. That's incredible technology. Imagine having that kind of ability. I mean, we're just like, they're treating us like animals when it comes to that. The way we treat animals, like out in the wild, that's what basically they're doing to us. You look at how they react. I mean, there's so many stories where people come upon beings like a landed craft. Like, for instance, the famous Lonnie Zamora case in New Mexico. He comes upon a landed craft, and when he sees these humanoid beings, he notices them, and then he notices that they notice him and they look surprised. They're surprised because they're probably scared. They're probably scared of us, and that's why they're equipped with technology that could put us in check easily. Obviously, you hear other cases like that where somebody comes upon a craft with humanoids, and next thing you know, they're standing there paralyzed. They can't move because these beings actually obviously have some sort of a contraption that allows for that prevents a person from moving. Imagine having something like that, and you have to wonder if in some of these recovered crashes have governments obtain those things in the craft. I mean, a lot of times you hear like the alien, an extraterrestrial had something on its belt, and when the person moved toward him, the alien touched something on the belt, and next thing you know, the guy couldn't move. Now, in some of these crashes that occurred over the years, and they found dead alien bodies, were some of these aliens equipped with some of these devices? And are we trying to figure out how they work? Or have we figured out how they work? We just don't know. I mean, it's incredible the technology that these beings possess. But yeah, I'm. It's going to be an interesting year, 2024 coming up. Hopefully, the control group does not have its way. Hopefully, somehow. Maybe through some more whistleblowers. Maybe there's going to be another significant person that we're going to hear about. Maybe there'll be more congressional hearings where people will be speaking under oath about this. That would be amazing. I think we're going to get something. I don't think this is over yet, and I think it's going to keep escalating until some point, till we finally have the absolute end-all truth. I think that's where we're going to head. I don't know if it's going to be 2024. It could be 2025. But again, I think that the control group is going to stop at nothing to prevent this from ever reaching the public. I still believe they're going to use every tool in their tool belt to make sure that disclosure doesn't become a thing in the future. I don't know. I don't know why they want. I mean, they have their chance. That bill that almost got passed. That was a chance basically to get them off the hook too. They just don't want to go there. They just don't want to go there. It might come down to some sort of a civilian effort to disclose this truth. And that might be what we have to do. And we might never, ever get anything from the government. That's also possible, too. You have to keep in mind that there's always that possibility that we might never, ever get anything from the government. And that we'll have to do it ourselves. That it will have to be via some civilian method, an avenue that's some research organization that's comprised of civilians and scientists that does it themselves without the aid of the government. For a crash retrieval, I think that would that's what you would want more than anything, is to recover a crashed alien craft. If a civilian group would be able to do something like that before the government were to intervene and take over, that would be it. That might be the way it would have to be done. It would have to be a gigantic effort. There'd have to be a lot of money thrown at it. But I think that might be the way, because I really believe that these people in control of this, the aliens have a lot of power, right? Obviously, right? There's no question about it. They are way, way, way more technologically advanced than we are. We're not even close to whatever they have. But these people in charge, they have everything at their fingertips. They have power, they have technology, and they have a way of keeping things hush-hush. They've been doing a great job of it for a long time now. And hopefully that's going to come to an end, but it might not. And it might be up to civilians to finally get this truth out to everyone, so the whole world knows what the reality is. Because there are beings here that aren't humans, that are more advanced than humans. That's the truth. That is the truth. Anyway, I want to say thank you all for joining me. Until next time.